beautiful people. Hang tight with us. We're going to start a great show. I just want to get us also here on Instagram. So bear with me while we do that. We've got a wonderful, I'm so excited about this guest, Raw Chef Yin. And I'm going to share with you about, yes, okay, so we are on all the platforms. Welcome. Hello, beautiful people. I have Raw Chef Yin with me today, and I am super excited about this. She also is a contributor to the bundle, and we're going to talk all about what she did. She's got a Korean barbecue recipe book, and I've got some of her dishes here, but I'd like for you to take a second, Chef Yin, and introduce yourself.
Hi, Jennifer. Thanks so much for having me on your show, and hi, everyone. So I'm a raw vegan chef based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. My passion is teaching people how to make beautiful, delicious raw vegan food, and I focus on a lot of Asian flavors because I love my Asian food. So I've come up with recipes, on Malaysian food where I live in, on Thai, Vietnamese, Indonesian, and for this bundle, I've developed a Korean barbecue party online course, and everything's raw vegan and oil free.
Yeah, and there's no oil in it. There's no regular white sugar in it. I did see that you could put salt, but you don't have to. And so I've never done any kind of Korean recipe. And so I just want to tell you what I did here. I have your carrot namul, and help me if I say it wrong. I've got your garlic ginger paste, which I could just eat like by the spoonful. I know. I have your green onion salad, but you told in the recipe, you said, put the sauce when you're ready to eat it. So I have it ready with some sesame seeds. And then I also did the Korean barbecue mushroom. And
that looks so beautiful and so delicious.
Yeah, so I'm excited. So so if you are interested in the bundle you can get by clicking the link, or Chef Yin, tell us where people can buy the bundle through you.
Mine is just like the send out link. I don't have a shot.
No, that's okay. So you're on Instagram though, right?
I'm on Instagram. Yeah, they can go to my Instagram, and the link is in my bio.
I'm
Raw Chef Yin on Instagram. Yeah, that's right.
Raw Chef Yin on Instagram. Go to her bio, or you could also do it here. And so, I want to get into like some of the things that I did and questions. But I also want to hear, from you some things about your background. So where do you want to dive in first?
Okay. Well, I accidentally discovered Raw in 2014 because I had just bought a new an ice cream maker, and I was looking for healthy ice cream recipes. And then I stumbled upon this blog called This Awesome Vegan Life, and he had a picture of and a recipe of a raw vegan lasagna, and I was like, oh, I've never eaten that before, and it looked so beautiful. And I so happened to have all the ingredients in my fridge and pantry, so I made that, and I was blown away. Two things. Number one, it tasted so good. I was kind of like pescatarian, flexitarian at the time, and I was like, wow, this is like completely vegan and everything tastes great. And then the other thing was I had so much energy, and I was so confused. I was like, because usually when I eat cooked food, I get, tired and sluggish and all that. So I'm like, wow, what's with this energy? And then it's like an hour later, I'm still energized. 2 hours later, 3 hours later, I'm like super energized. So I did more research, and then I realized like, oh, this is it's because it's raw food, and it's full of nutrients. And then what happened was I decided I wanted to learn how to make this properly. That's why I went to culinary school to learn how to make proper raw food and all the raw food techniques. But initially when I started, it was just so I could make better tasting food for my boyfriend. It wasn't to become a chef. I actually have a law degree, but then I did not practice law, and then I was in public relations for 15 years before I left the corporate world, and then I was helping my boyfriend with his music business. So I'm still helping him with his music business, but I'm also doing this. I'm also teaching and creating raw food now. So yeah, so I started. Then people were just interested, and people were like asking me like, "How do you do this? How do you make this?" And then people started inviting me to do workshops, and then the word got out. And then I started presenting at vegan festivals, and I presented at vegan festivals all over the world, in Bali, in Singapore, in Brighton, and then and I've also presented at some demos also in Boston and in North Carolina last year with Kathy Hester, and then and then I think COVID struck, like lockdown happened, so I started creating online courses instead. And now we're here.
Wow, that is such an incredible story. So that's so interesting that just based on a picture that you saw of a raw zucchini dish, you like changed the course of your life. You ended up going to culinary school, and now because of it, I get to enjoy this tasty food. And anyone that's interested in purchasing the bundle would also receive your Korean barbecue recipe. It's all raw food, which is really fascinating and interesting. Does your boyfriend, or you mentioned your boyfriend,
Yes.
Does he eat raw?
He does both raw and cooked. So it's good that I have the bundle, because then I can, the cook recipes, I actually make it for him. So I've made, I made Kathy Hester's pizza for him, and he loved it because I hardly ever make, I make raw vegan pizza for him, and he eats it as well. So he eats both raw and cooked. But when I made Kathy's pizza, which is in the vegan health bundle, he was like, "Oh my god, he was so happy."
Do you know, when you were on last year visiting, I actually saw you cooking with Kathy.
Nice.
And so, yes, I did see a little bit of that. I do want to just take a minute, let you know we have a lot of people saying hello in the chat, and I just want to say hello to everybody. Of course, if you have any questions for Raw Chef Yin or myself or about the bundle, go ahead and put it in, because we can see it and we would love to chat with you. So I got to ask you, are you exclusively you only do raw?
So I keep to a high raw diet. So at home it's almost 100% raw. If I'm eating at home, it'll be for breakfast I'll have a green smoothie, and then for lunch I'll have a salad, and then for dinner I'll have fruit. But if I'm eating out with friends or I'm eating out with family, I'll eat some cooked food. And then when I'm traveling, I will also eat some cooked food. But when I'm traveling, what I try to do is I have my breakfast raw and I have my dinner raw, and then lunch I'll eat something cooked, because I would like to try out the cuisine of that country or of that city, and just trying to maintain a balance. I do feel my best when I am raw, yeah. But for my boyfriend, it's a kind of a different thing. He doesn't always like 100% raw. So when I make him his food, he will have a component of raw. So breakfast, sometimes he eats all raw. Lunch and dinner, he'll have my I'll make him some salads as well. So he'll have some elements of raw. So yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, because I know in our household, everybody eats a little bit differently. And so I was thinking, if you're 100% raw, but then you're cooked, do you ever feel like you want to eat that? But it looks like you will taste it if you want, or enjoy it if you want. But it's interesting also to hear that you notice how you feel when you eat raw versus if you eat something cooked.
Yeah. So like an example, when I made the pizza, I obviously tasted. I want to taste it as well. So I made four. Yeah, I think I made 4 personal size pizzas. Well, kind of personal size, whatever that could fit into my toaster oven, because I don't actually have a real oven. I gave away my real oven so that I could have my dehydrator. I needed to make space for my 2 dehydrators.
Oh, wow. That's great.
So I only have a toaster oven. So I made four of the pizzas in my small toaster oven. So it's like small personal size pizzas. So my boyfriend had two, and I had half, and then the rest of it, and then I had my fruit and my salad and all that. But the next day, I could feel a bit constipated and a bit, yeah, because when I'm fully raw, when I go to the bathroom, it's like everything eliminates very smoothly. But
Yeah.
if I eat some cooked food, I can feel the next day like, oh, why is this taking a bit of time? They're like, oh yeah, I had something cooked. So
And was that something that took time? Like when you first were starting to be raw versus like over a long period of time, did your body just get used to being raw? Because I know some people, it's really hard to stay raw because they say they're hungry. Like I tried it before 100% and I was hungry. I was looking. So maybe I wasn't eating enough calories, but did your body change over the time of the beginning versus now, like when you notice something cooked versus before? Did how was that?
yeah, so I had you're right. I did have that problem of feeling hungry all the time. And then I actually wrote to my raw food teacher and said, like, why am I hungry all the time and all that? And then she said, you need to then she said, oh, you need to start thinking of calories, and you have to make sure that you have enough calories. But at that time, I was so confused because, the entire world is telling you to cut down on calories, right? And eat low calorie food. And she's telling me to do the opposite. And I, I did not understand it for a long time. And then I met Matthew Kenny at an event because I went to his Chef Matthew Kenny. And then I asked him again, and he said, like, oh, if let's say if you're having your raw noodles and you're still hungry, have a smoothie as well. But I think it was only actually it's only when I started watching Lisa and Nate, who are in the raw vegan bundle as well. No, who are in this vegan health bundle. But I bought the ultimate raw vegan bundle. That's why I said. So I followed Lisa and Nate, and then I realized Lisa keeps emphasizing like, you have to eat a lot, you have to eat enough volume, you have to eat enough calories. That was when I was like, oh, I do need to eat that huge giant bowl of salad that looks crazy. Like that's enough to feed four people
Yeah, the
before I get
portion.
full.
Yeah.
Or I'll have to eat like 5 large bananas for breakfast, before I'm full. It sometimes shocks people. I remember we were staying with a friend in Berkeley in California, and they were like, oh, what do you need? We're going to the grocery store. What do you need to buy? Would you like us to buy something for you? I said, oh, can I have some bananas, please? And they bought me like a tiny bunch of bananas. And I looked at it, I was like, oh dear, that's usually like, I'm like, thank you so much for this,
Yeah.
but I usually eat way more. And they looked at me, they're like, that's a lot. Like one bunch a day or something.
Yeah, so I guess that teaches us that in the future you have to say how many bananas. Yes. I need 15 bananas or whatever. There is a question in the chat from Colleen, and her question is high raw eating only raw 100% of the time, or can you explain what that means?
Okay, so yeah, first, I really don't like this thing about, are you 100% raw? Are you 75% raw? Are you high raw? Are you fully raw? I really don't like that. Because I came from the culinary background thing, and my first exposure to like raw food, right, was from the culinary background. And none of our teachers ever said like, oh, you need to be 100% raw and all. And I remember when I started conducting workshops, people asked me that question, and I was like, huh, what? I thought you just want to include more fruits and vegetables in your daily life, And then I realized like, oh, okay, there's raw vegan, there's raw gourmet, and then there's all these terms about 100% raw, 75% raw, I don't know, high raw. So now I go by high raw, meaning that, and then there's different definitions of high raw as well. There are some people who just say like, if you're more than 50% raw, you're considered high raw. But some people say like, oh, you need to be at least 75% raw before you're high raw. And then there are also some people, I think Dr. Brooke, if I'm not mistaken, someone told me that Dr. Brooke Goldner says if you're 75% raw, you're considered raw. So,
oh, interesting.
Yeah, but Colleen, so when I say high raw, meaning I eat mostly raw, and then, you know, and I've calculated this because I have been called out by some people like saying like, oh, why are you raw chef Yin if you eat cooked food? And I counted in a month, let's say I eat 3 meals a day. So in a month, let's say it's usually 30 days, right? So I will eat 90 meals in a month. So out of that 90 meals, 80 of my meals are actually raw because I only eat cooked food 2 to 3 times a week at the most. Yeah. Yeah. There are some weeks that just go by, I eat like 100% raw, you know. So, yeah, so I eat about 80. So that is my, it's about that. Unless I'm like, you know, on a 1 month travel in the US, and then I'll be eating lunch, usually cook lunch every day. But if I'm at home here in Malaysia, I eat about 80 raw meals in a month. But it's not something like I go like, oh, I need to hit this target. It's not. It's just like I'm eating this because it makes me feel good. I perform well, you know. Yeah, I'm refreshed and I'm nourished, and yeah, it's something that I really like doing, and I notice my body responds very well to it. The other thing is the reason why I was convinced of going raw was because I had suffered from eczema on my fingers and my toes for 30 over years, and I tried
Wow.
all. Yes.
I never heard of that on your fingers and toes. Usually I hear about it in the arms or different places. That's interesting. Go ahead. Yes.
Do you know it's so bad because it will crack and it will bleed, and sometimes when I go through airport security, the machines cannot scan my fingers.
Oh,
It's
wow.
that bad. And then I have to like scan 3 4 times and rub my finger on my forehead and do all sort of things, and then they'll give me some kind of lotion and all that. Then I so yeah, it was that bad. And we tried all sort of things because I was a kid. I was like, I think about 10 years old, I was really suffering from it. And so my parents spent a lot of money taking me to specialist doctors to try and figure out a solution. They just gave me steroid creams, those horrible
Oh,
doctors. And then we did Ayurvedic medicine
oh,
and taking neem leaves and all that. That did not help. And we did traditional Chinese medicine as well. Oh my God, the amount of thick, gooey, dark, black, bitter Chinese medicine that I had to swallow. Oh, it was
oh,
horrible. Okay. And then yeah, we tried all sort of things. It didn't work. Some doctors, I had one doctor telling me like, oh, you're allergic. Okay, you're allergic to the household detergents, so you need to wear gloves, but then you're still allergic to the latex gloves, so you need to wear 3 pairs of gloves. You need to wear a plastic glove to protect yourself, and then you need to wear a cotton glove, and then you need to wear a rubber glove on top so
wow.
that you can do your household chores and all that. So at one time I was using 3 pairs of gloves, and that did not work either. So I was just like, so when I started going raw vegan, I was like, oh my God, my hands, they're beautiful now and they've all cleared. And
Oh.
and that was when I'm like, okay, I'm not going back.
Yeah,
Is it?
that's an amazing story. And, I have a story as well. And I swear, when people are struggling and then they accidentally realize, oh, the food is healing me, then it's a real good motivator. And that I'm so happy that that worked out for you.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
what amazing.
And yeah, Chef Bell is here and says doctors do not know how to help people with eczema. That's true. I went to so many doctors and not one single doctor talked about diet. Not one. They just kept giving me creams and ointments. And one said that you'll grow out of it because I was a kid, right? And I took it so literally. I remember I was 21 years old and I was like, okay, I'm an adult now. Why is this not? Why is this still here?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Chef Valerie Wilson. Hello. She's also in the bundle. And she says, I had eczema also from about age 18 to 30. Yes, on the hands and feet. Doctors do not know how to help people with eczema. Um, That is, yeah, that's a really interesting story. And there's some more new people in here. We've got Marilyn and, of course, Scorpy. Colleen, we said hello to. I just want to say hi to Jill. And Lisa is here. Lisa Orange, she's in the bundle. And let's see, anyone else that I'm missing? As Samad, hello, welcome.
Okay, that's my boyfriend.
Oh, hey! I am so glad you're here. You're listening to us talk about your food. And yes, everyone who's here, we just want to make sure that you know you're welcomed. And I do want to take a couple of minutes. I want to dive into, life as a raw chef, which you kind of touched on already. But I do want to tell you, so your recipe for the Korean barbecue, this is like in place of a meat, right? And it's mushrooms.
That's right.
And I couldn't find exactly the mushrooms. I want to tell you what I used.
Oh.
And so I got two different kinds. I got a blue oyster mushroom.
Oh, nice.
And then I got a umami mushroom pack, which has organic trumpet, shiitake, and more blue oyster. So that's what I used. And I just kind of shredded up and cut it up and put it on this.
It looks perfect.
Oh, and I had it, on this tray. And so you dehydrate it. And the sauce is amazing. It's all in the bundle. And so I just wanted to ask you, is that okay to mix the different mushrooms?
Yes, it's fine. Yeah, because so usually for Korean barbecue, you have different kinds of meat. You have beef, you have I think you have pork, I think you have chicken as well and all that. So I just wanted to use mushrooms to mimic the different kind of to get the meaty texture. And I think I've tried with different mushrooms as well. So the oyster mushrooms, like the blue oyster mushrooms, that works very well because in Korean barbecue they actually slice the meat very, very thinly. It's not huge chunks of meat. Yeah, so I think if we have the flat oyster mushrooms, it's quite nice because that's the same kind of texture. Well,
yeah,
similar texture, not the same, but similar.
Okay, so because I was wondering if the different flavors, but it sounds like it's fine. I spent like a month and a half in Japan, and I remember seeing very thin slices of meat, and so at that time many years ago, and so I did try to slice it up, and so I'm excited to eat this. One other thing I wanted to share about this, the green onion salad, is I didn't have a chance to go to like an Asian or Korean store. And so I did not have that. Let me see what it's called. It's the red pepper. It's called gochugaru. Am I messing that up?
So that's gochugaru, which is a Korean red chili flakes. Yeah, so that gives you the very authentic Korean flavor. I don't know whether have you had Korean food before?
I have, but I've never made it, and it's been quite a while. But I want to tell you what I substituted, or maybe you can share if you can't find that one. I think you can. I just didn't find it. I didn't go to the right places, like what you could substitute, or I can tell you what I substituted because I don't want to mess up the flavor that I'm trying to experience,
Right. So yeah, you can get it online because I know Lisa got hers on Lisa had some gochugaru flakes as well in Vegas. So I know you can get it online. There's actually you could substitute with like red chili pepper flakes or something like that, but the taste will be different. If you want the authentic taste, because I've tried as well. I've tried it with various, I've tried it with like chili, like local Malaysian chili flakes and the others as well. It doesn't have that authentic Korean taste, but if it will still taste nice and if you still like it, I think that's fine. It's just that I think for me, I'm trying to get the flavors that I remember when I visited Korea. I think we were there in 2015, for 2 weeks. So, and we eat in a lot of Korean restaurants here in Malaysia as well, and in Singapore as well. So that was just the flavor that I was trying to achieve, but it's fine to substitute.
Yeah, so I'll just tell you, I used cayenne mixed with smoked paprika. I did think about using the red chili flakes, but when I looked it up online, it said that that's a much hotter spice, and the one that you are recommending is more of like a smoky with a sweet and like a more mild. So
Yes, correct.
so I'm going to keep my eye out on it, or maybe I'll order it and try again. But I wanted to ask you about that. And man, this garlic ginger paste, I'm not kidding. I could eat it like by the spoon. It's so good.
Yeah, it'll go so well with the mushrooms. Yeah, that's
yeah, and then we have it mixed in with the carrots. So I'm going to have a feast when we get off. But I did want to ask you a few questions about that. And everything is wonderful in your cookbook, because not only do you get the recipes with pictures, but she also has videos, and they're not long videos. They're, anywhere from like 3 to 6 minute videos. And they just take you step by step. And I really thought that was helpful. So yeah.
Because I feel like I'm a visual learner, so I learn better when watching videos or seeing how people make it. Because when I read a recipe, I need to read it like 5 times before I understand how to do anything. I'll be like, how do I do this? So I felt like if I created videos, then people will have a better idea of actually making it. And also because, a lot of people are buying it from the US, they might not have they might not have experience with making Asian food. So I wanted to make them make it easier for them so they can follow step by step. So the course comes with video tutorials for every single recipe, as well as a course booklet which has the step by step recipe listed out as well for them to follow.
Okay, well, I think that's great. And then let's see, I'm just looking in the chat to see if there's any other questions. Let's see. Colleen says, I really need to stop watching these bundle shows with all the amazing food. I'm water fasting now. Oh my goodness. Well, if you get the bundle, you can have it for when you're ready, of course. And good for you for water fasting. I've done that before. Have you done that before, Chef Yin?
No,
You don't need to.
The only fast that I do is intermittent fasting, but I don't think that's real fasting. Actually, that's more of time restricted eating. I'm a huge foodie, and I love my food so much that I don't know. I like the idea of fasting. Is like, oh, I can't go without my food. My boyfriend is fasting this month though, because
Oh, wow, that's interesting. So, well, it seems like you're doing well health-wise. So, and just eating this great food. Is there anything that you can share about, like, staying raw? I mean, you shared why you went raw and how you became a chef, but I guess, is it helpful to be able to, not worry about the percentage, like you were saying, you eat a little cooked if you want, and then you don't feel like you're missing out on anything? Or, I mean, is that how it goes with you? Because when you were talking about, you don't like that when people say the percentages. I never thought about that, but I think because people really, I think, want to, when they want to try something, they want to follow instructions, right? And so maybe, what exactly is it, especially if you're not familiar with doing it a certain way? I know for me, I want to make sure that I master it and I know how to do it. But for someone that's not, I mean, I guess the question is, when you eat it a little both, then you have fulfillment and you don't really look for something. I don't know.
I think you should listen to your body, because I remember at one time, like every time it's just a few days before my period, I really cannot eat any raw food. I just feel like I need to have something cooked. So I would do that. Yeah, and I think you respect your body and honor your body. But I wanted to say, like, but not everybody knows how to listen to their body either. I remember doing a talk in Taiwan, right? And then there was this 18-year-old boy. He came up to me and said, but my body says I want to eat McDonald's.
Oh my goodness.
Then I realized, like, I guess if you're an 18-year-old boy, we wouldn't know how to listen to your body.
Right. Oh my goodness. That's funny. Well, we did have another question here. We have, here we go. Are the ingredients in US measurements or metrics from your cookbook in the bundle?
It's both. So like I put there 1 Napa cabbage. So I put 1,400 grams and also 49.4 ounces. So I have it in grams and ounces, and also like, you know, like 1 carrot or cups and all that, and tablespoons. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in Malaysia, so I actually go by metric. But I think we were asked to also just do put in the ounces as well for the American.
Yeah, when I followed it, I found it to be very helpful because sometimes 1 carrot, it depends on the size of the carrot, right?
Yeah.
And so for you to have the ounce, I did it by ounces, and then I think you also had like quarter cup or, you know, smaller measurements. And I just used my kitchen scale. And and so here we go. So yeah, that was a good question. Yeah, so if you are on the fence, you haven't gotten the bundle is amazing. Chef Yin, tell us, is there anything that sticks out to you in the bundle that you really think is something that caught your attention?
Wow, there's actually so much, because this time I really took the time to go through almost every single thing in the bundle. I like Chef Bravo's courses. Chef Ramses Bravo, he's the chef in True North. So he has 3 courses in it, and I went through everything. It's so good because he's like a legit chef, right? And he gives such good tips, and he's a really good teacher, and he's actually really funny too. He's like hilarious. He's got such a good sense of humor. So I like that one. The other one which I mentioned was, you know, Kathy's pizza class, because it was just like, and it's so easy to make. The crust was like super easy to make. The pizza sauce was very easy, just blend it up and all that. And then even the mozzarella, I made the oat mozzarella thing. You know, you have most of the ingredients with you. It's not like, you know, you have to find like difficult ingredients and go out and find that.
Right.
So I like Kathy's class as well. I really like, you know, Chef AJ did a conference, the Live Your Best Life conference last year, and now she shows you, you have access to 5 of their very popular videos in that conference, and they were all from, you know, the very renowned and respected plant-based doctors. So I like that a lot as well. I think what I like about this bundle is there's a lot of content from doctors, because if you look at the other bundles, there's hardly any of that. So I like that. Yeah, they're very well-respected doctors as well. So those are just some of them. I plan to make something from your ebook today. I think I will want to try out one of your smoothies. I'm actually, I'm actually half wondering, like, oh, maybe I can make one of your smoothies and use it as kind of like a sweet dressing on my salad for lunch.
Ooh, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, I have both cooked and raw things in my contribution. And I have been to True North, so I met Chef Bravos. And you're right, he is a funny guy. And I took some of his classes in person when I was fasting there. And the way that he teaches is very unique, because he's not telling you this measurement, that measurement. He actually teaches you how to mix and blend food. So, you know, I haven't checked into the course, but I'm wondering if that's what it is. And I want to check into that. So,
yeah, it's very comprehensive. Yeah, because he has 3. So he also talks about, you know, how to deal with restaurants when you eat out. But he gives you like really good tips, like, you know, talk to the chef, talk to the server, you know, to call them up. I know that's what people always say, but he goes in depth into the detail. And I remember when I first, because I only went oil free in 2021, I think. Yeah, in 2021. So before that, I wasn't. You know, in culinary school, they teach you how to use salt, sugar, and oil a lot.
right.
And then now you come to this community and it's like, oh, it's SOS free. Like,
Yeah,
how do I do
out.
that? Right? So I remember watching Chef Bravo's videos on YouTube, and I almost wanted to write to him to ask, like, can I take a lesson from you just to learn how to do this SOS free? But I was a bit afraid to write to him, so I never did. And then I think one of the bundles he had his course, so I took his course, and then now there's even more. And then I was also learning to go oil free, like how to make. Oh dear, sorry, I have a delivery. I have to answer this.
Oh sure, that's okay. I'll talk to everyone. Go ahead. Yeah, so the thing that this particular recipe, this is all onion. This is an onion, like a scallion, green onion salad, which was really interesting to me. And but she says when you're ready, that's when you add the sauce. I think I don't know how much longer we're going to be on, but I'm going to go ahead and start mixing in the sauce so that I am ready when we get off the call, because this is going to be what I eat today. And I'm super excited about it. I was just going ahead and sharing with everyone that I got to mix this up, because I'll be eating it shortly.
So I wanted to let you know, I mean, I can stay on for a bit, but I might be just interrupted here and there because I don't know why usually my food delivery, they only deliver after like 10, it's only 9:36 right now. But somehow this one is delivering earlier, and I'm trying to get them to come send it to my doorstep, but sometimes they insist that I have to go downstairs and get it. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no worries. And so is that in the morning or is that evening?
In the morning. Yeah, it's in the morning right now.
So it's tomorrow morning because it's
Correct.
evening here. Okay.
Correct. It's Thursday right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you are like traveling, I see sometimes on your channel that you guys go to the park to enjoy lunch. Yeah. And, so do you have to travel in a certain way, even just to go to the park? Like, is it easier with raw food, or do you need to take an ice pack? Just wondering about that.
I don't need to take an ice pack, but when I travel, I always bring my cutting board, my knife, my apron, my sponges. So, a bit similar to Janet, but I think Janet's even more. Janet brings more things. So Janet's in the bundle as well. She has a travel challenge, right? A plant-powered travel challenge.
Yes, and she might even be listening here. I know she said she might be listening in. I don't know if she's able to chat with us, but yes, that's definitely another level up, right?
Yeah, and I bring my food containers along as well, and that has it has the fork and spoons and everything, the containers and all that. So that brings everything there. We even when we're not traveling, when we're here in Malaysia, I try to go to the park 3 times a week just to connect with nature. So so I always have my breakfast there. Yeah. So no, I don't need to bring an ice pack though, because I just I pack very simple stuff. I just for me, I just pack some bananas and some lettuce. And then for my boyfriend, it depends on my mood. Sometimes he gets I made Bill Kramer's chocolate sauce in the very whole food, and oh my god, he loved it so much. So I would put chocolate sauce all over his fruit for his breakfast. Or sometimes I make him oats as well, like oat groats, like cooked oat groats.
Oat groats. Yeah, Bill DeCramer, I had him on earlier today with his with Connie, and yes, he's got an amazing recipe book as well. I really like that you just shared that you go to the park for breakfast. Oh my gosh. I mean, I have a yard, so I can do that, but and I walk my dog, but I never think go to the park for breakfast. I love that. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, because we live in the city, and there's just I think what happened was, I think during the lockdowns, the park was the only place that we could go out. We could go outdoor, we couldn't go anywhere else. So and then I just decided, this is almost like a non-negotiable. We just go to the park 3 times a week. We do our exercises, we walk, and then we have breakfast, and then we go home, and then we start our work, because we both work flexible hours. So that's something we can do. Yeah.
Together. Oh, that's lovely. So I have another question about this. I know when I was reading in your recipe book, these were considered side dishes to go with the main dish. When I'm eating it, if I want to do it in the more traditional way, is there any particular order? I mean, I'm just curious, in the tradition. Oh, you got to grab it.
Sorry, that's my door. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, as says, it is awesome. I bet it is awesome to go into the park and, the chocolate sauce is awesome. Well, going to the park, it sounds awesome too. So yeah, I'm just looking in the chat here. And I see they're talking about Chef Bravo. So, any other questions about the bundle for Chef Yin or myself? Or I don't know if anybody wants me to taste this. I would be happy to do that. And when she comes back, we can chat more about things. But she has just so many different unique recipes. And I've been really excited to choose something. So, this is the way I went. So, yep, here you come.
Okay, I'm back. I got my groceries, so I don't think I should be disturbed anymore.
Yeah, and so you get your groceries delivered. Do you ever have like I'm sure you have a farmer's market or somewhere that you can go sometimes?
So I go different places. So these are my staples. This is where I get all my organic leafy greens. That's online. So this one from this place, they actually work directly with farmers. So of the organic farms. So it's really fresh. I have to pre-order it like 2 days in advance. So that's where I get like because I try to eat I try to eat 1 pound of greens a day. I usually get that in. So that's one. And then every Friday I go to, I know this private farmer. He also has a very small private organically grown, he has a farm with organically grown vegetables and fruits. So it's not certified organic, but it's organically grown. So he will also give me a list of what he has every week and ask me what I want to order. It's really funny because the first time when I met him, and we bought, I think 2 or 3 bunches of red bananas, and then he said like, "Oh, are you having a party?"
You're like, yes, by myself, right?
I was like, "No, it's all for us."
Right, for the two of you.
Yeah, and then because it's just an open air stall, and then there's this other lady yeah, who sells eggs next to him. So I don't really want to buy eggs, but she's really friendly. And she looks at me, she goes like, "You mean you don't eat rice?"
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're all very curious, you know.
Yeah.
Like there are
It,
not that many raw vegans in Malaysia, so
yeah, but somehow you make it work. So you mentioned red bananas. That's not something that we commonly find out in our grocery stores or at our farmers market. And so are they smaller than like the
they're actually bigger.
they're bigger? Has
Hold
anyone
on.
in the
Let
chat
me,
had a red banana?
let me try and grab some. I think I have some. Let me just grab one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting to see and hear the different, types of food that you can get in different parts of the world. Oh, wow. That looks so pretty.
Yeah. So we have many kinds of bananas grown here in Malaysia, but in the stores they usually sell the Cavendish because I think that's easy. So that's why I need to get this directly from the farmer himself.
Gosh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's
What does that
very
taste like?
creamy.
Oh, creamy. That's
It's really creamy. Yeah. Yeah.
so when it's ripe, is it ripe when it's spotted, or how do you know
Yeah,
it's
it's
ripe?
already ripe. When you touch it and it's soft, it's ripe. Then you will it's already getting a bit spotty already, you can see. A bit.
Wow.
But it's very fragrant, yeah. So the aroma is very strong and it's very soft. Yeah. Do they taste different? Yes, they taste slightly different. So yeah, my boyfriend loves this as well. That's why we always get, in fact, I get different kind of bananas from him. Sometimes I get this, then there's I mean it's in the Malay word, so we call it pisang susu, and then there's pisang emas, which is the smaller ones. And then sometimes there's pisang barangan, there's pisang rastali, there's all sorts of bananas here. I mean, we live in a tropical country, where
Right.
bananas grow in abundance. Yeah.
Yes, we have a couple comments here. Colleen said no, she has never tried it. And Jill says, I've heard of them, but I've never had them. And Marilyn says, do they taste different? So you mentioned creamy, but different, I'm assuming, than maybe what we get here in the States. I don't know.
Yeah. The bananas in the States are kind of tasteless. It's true. Because you know why? I realized, okay, the bananas in the States,
I'm hiding my bananas.
they are perfect for nice cream.
Oh, they
Perfect,
are.
because you can flavor them. You can add in fruit. You can put in cacao powder. It tastes like It tastes like chocolate ice cream. But if you put like cacao powder and this, then it will taste very banana. Yeah. So it's different. I think for an ice cream, it's perfect for what else? What else do we use bananas for that? I mean, like if you want a very neutral flavor, then I think even for smoothies. But these are so the Malaysian bananas are way more sweeter and way more fragrant. Yeah, there's a very strong banana taste.
Now I have to go to Malaysia to try your bananas from your farmer. Wouldn't that be cool? Even if we find them here, because I do see there are some that are shipped in from different places, different sizes and different styles. I'm sure it's not the same as getting it from the farmer, but I would urge people to try, look at different sections in the store wherever you are and maybe try something because, otherwise how do you know? And then you don't taste the food.
Ethnic markets would have it, I think.
Oh, Asian markets.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw it, at like 99 Ranch or International or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were starting to tell me if there's an order that I eat this. I just was curious.
Yeah. So what they usually do, and I think in the video, in the course, I actually do show a video on how to assemble it. Yeah. So Korean barbecue actually, it actually has a lot of ingredients. That's why when I was asked to create this course, Chef AJ was the one who actually asked me like, "Can you do Korean barbecue raw vegan?" And I was like, "I can, but it's a lot of components and it's a lot of work." Yeah, but it's fine if you just enjoy it like this as well. Do you by any chance have any rice?
I do, but not cooked right now. But yes, I do. Do you? Yeah. So, or even if you're raw, you can do the forbidden rice, right? Can't you?
Yeah. Oh, I think I have the cauliflower rice recipe in it. So
oh yes, I saw that. Okay.
Yeah, it's in the thing. So basically, what I mean, Korean barbecue. What they do traditionally is they take the meat and then they put it on the grill and then they grill it and then they eat it with the sauces and then they also eat it with the side dishes. So you already have the meat, and so it's kind of you can combine. But the other really fun thing to do is to make it into a SAM, which is a kind of like a wrap. So what people do is they take lettuce leaf, and then maybe you put in a bit of rice or your cauliflower rice. Then you put your mushrooms in, and then you put a bit of your your carrot namul, and put the garlic ginger paste in. And then you wrap it all, and then you close it, and you eat it as a very tiny piece. It's supposed to be like one bite, so you can put everything into your mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, and put it as like a tiny wrap, and then put it into your mouth, and then you taste like the burst of flavors all going around everywhere. Yeah.
So, as you're explaining, you put this in the lettuce, you put this in I'm thinking like an American, right? I am an American. I'm thinking, okay, you're going to have this big wrap. But when you're saying a very delicate, small bite, I have some romaine lettuce. Maybe when we get off, I'll do that. And then what would you do? Eat this, the green onion salad on the side?
You can actually put it together as well. So maybe the next one that you do, you instead of putting the carrots, then you put the the green onions will go also very well with the mushrooms as well. Yeah. Okay. So I think Lisa made every single thing from my course, and she likened it to like a tacos, which I think is a similar idea, right? Because when you make tacos, then you can put different fillings in. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. And I actually have some of Lissa's raw food, her wraps,
This would go so well in the wraps, actually.
Yeah, I have one big one, and so I could do that. Maybe I'll play around with it and do some lettuce. And so thank you for clarifying that, because I wouldn't know, and people might not know, how to put it together so that it's more authentic and that kind of experience. Oh, this has been so fun. Is there anything you wanted to ask me or anything you wanted to talk about that we haven't touched on yet?
Oh, wow. I haven't thought about it because it's been like the moment I woke up, it's just been like, go, 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 go.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. I know this has been a learning experience for me, having it be my first year There's a lot involved, and especially on bundle week, we're very busy, but the opportunity to meet people and share this time together live, I really have been enjoying, and I really appreciate you taking the time today to share and come on and talk about your bundle contribution.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, it's been really nice connecting, and I just love looking at the food that you've made. I'm just like, wow, can you make that for me? Can I have some?
Yeah, I'll show again. Yes, and of course. But then I would be nervous to make sure that it's
Oh
like
no,
tastes good
I'm
to
just
you. So
you know
that's
what? I'll just be happy that someone's making food for me because I'm always the one who has to be making food for other people.
so okay. Well, with this extra, this
Yeah.
is the garlic ginger sauce or paste. What else could I do with it? How do you store it? Maybe I'll ask those couple questions.
Oh yeah. The garlic ginger paste, you can store it in the fridge. It should last a couple of days. I mean, okay. So for raw food, what I usually tell people, you can store it in the fridge for about 3 to 5 days, and then if you want to put it in the freezer, put it in a sealed container for up to a month. Yeah, the garlic ginger paste will freeze. I've frozen that. The nambo also freezes. You can't freeze the green onion salad. You can't freeze it.
I'll eat that.
Yeah, but the
And then
mushroom.
what else? Could you put this on any kind of vegetable? I mean, carrots.
Yeah, so that one I think you could use it for the other namuls as well. I think there's a spinach namul as well,
I
which
think
we
you're
use
right.
it. Yeah, there's a spinach, and then there's also I think a spicy shishito peppers, which also uses the garlic.
Yes, my son told me he wants me to make that one. He was like, "Ooh, that one looks so good." Is that very spicy?
Um, okay, I hope you can find the shishito peppers though, because that was something that Lisa said it was harder for her to find. Although, when I was there in Vegas with her, and we went to one grocery store, and I was like, "Yeah, these are the shishito peppers." so, so I know they do have it in the U.S., and I know when I was in Vegas, we went to Momofuku to eat, and they had shishito peppers as well. It's kind of, at one point it was like couple of years ago, I think like maybe 2019 or something like that, it was the thing that all the chefs were using. Because I remember I presented at the Vegan Perth Expo in Australia, and Chef Joe was also presenting shishito peppers as well. So it tastes very different from your jalapeno peppers or your any of your local ones. It has a very special taste. I don't know how to explain it. I think it's kind of like half bitter, half it's not bitter, but it's got some kind of bitter tinge to it. Because I actually had a fun fact about the shishito peppers. I actually said the name shishito is from the Japanese words shishi, which means lion, and togarashi, which means chili pepper. So apparently in Japan, it's known as the lion head pepper.
Oh,
And
wow.
then in Korea, it's kwari gochu, ground cherry pepper, because its wrinkled surface resembles ground cherries. Yeah, so these peppers are actually like kind of, they look wrinkly. Yeah,
Oh,
so
wrinkly. Oh, wow.
yeah. So the combination of the peppers and the garlic ginger paste, and the miso and the gochugaru, that makes it really interesting. And that's something that's always served in Korean restaurants as well. So
Wow, we just got quite a class. It's amazing. And I see your boyfriend has put pisang is banana.
pisang, yeah.
Pisang, is that the name of the red, what you call it there? Or was that just
Oh,
general?
so it was just called, I mean, the farmer just calls it like pisang merah. So it's
Pisang.
red. So pisang is banana and merah is red. So yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to try to see if I can find those peppers. Maybe I'll have luck, and if not,
Yeah.
I'll still try it with something that I find maybe some kind of substitute. But yeah. So any last questions from anyone or any last comments? I kind of want to taste this with you.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, why don't you taste it live so I know?
I don't have the salad, but I'll, I mean, the lettuce to mix it yet, but I'm just going to try a little a little bit.
Maybe, yeah, maybe you can kind of like make it like a bowl. Actually, you can turn this into a bowl now that I think about it. You just have
Oh.
rice and then all the components that you have into a rice bowl. That would be so.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna just try to have a big bite. Mm. Oh wow, that is really good. I got to get my chopsticks out, right?
Yeah. Yes.
There is so much flavor. Oh my gosh, and they blend so beautifully together.
And you know what the interesting about Korean, if you have Korean chopsticks, I actually have Korean chopsticks. The ends are actually flat. I can't remember why. I know I remember.
Really?
Yeah. It's usually like silver in color, and then towards the end it's flat. I actually bought them from the Korean mart. I'm quite lucky to I live in a place where
Wow.
there's a high population of Koreans around, so there are actually at least 3 different Korean marts nearby that I can go to. Yeah.
Well, I have these I got in Japan.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you could see them, but they're round. I never saw or heard of flat ones. I think that would actually be really helpful.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I think there's a reason for it. That towards the end, the ends are flat. Yeah.
Man, I don't think I'm gonna share this with the family. No, I'm kidding. This is really, really good. And I could see, when you think of raw, some people, when you think of raw, you just think of salad, like regular plain, salad, which is great. I love a good salad.
Yeah.
But you can take these flavors and make fantastic sauces. This is awesome. I have nothing to compare it to, but I'm really enjoying it.
I'm glad. I mean, you could use them as salad toppings as well. I think like for Lisa, after she made everything and she had them as a Korean barbecue, I think the following day she just put them all on her salads. It'll add in so much flavor.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, it's endless. You can just really have a good time with it. And so we hope that if you haven't got the bundle yet, or maybe you got it last year, but you haven't gotten it this year is totally different. And we got to really dive deep in with you. I'm so grateful. Please feel free to, click the link or go to Chef Yin's Instagram, and it's in her bio. And you will enjoy it. All you have to do is download it. Once you purchase it, you have a year to download and put it wherever you want for storage. I keep mine on the Google Drive, and that's been really helpful because then wherever I am, I can always log in and pull it up, and you have it there forever, basically. So where do you keep your bundles?
I have mine on my hard drives. Yeah.
On a hard drive. Yeah. So, there you go. So anywhere.
Then, on the PDFs are all on my iPad.
Oh yeah, and that's wonderful. Yeah, so this was really fun. I hope to stay connected with you, and I really appreciate all the time. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm going to also say, don't forget to eat your greens and give plants a chance. Go ahead and buy the bundle. You have until March 10th. And that's it. It'll be a done deal. So don't miss out.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. This was really fun.
Yes, it really was. Thank you.